my name is Hoda Awad. I'm from Egypt. I'm professor of political science, international relations, and political communication. Now, speaking about civil society, and actually the importance of the civil society here, it can really work as to be faster than the government and more faster than and more effective than most governments in identifying, countering, and discrediting any disinformation. So, the role of the civil society has a number of roles that really it can play, and I'll select four roles. First, four roles to fight against computational propaganda. It can act as a watchdog, policing social media and exposing disinformation campaigns as they emerge. It can help to inoculate publics against information manipulation by supporting education, which has been mentioned many times, but I need to really re-stress it again. Education, outreach, and media literacy programs. Third, it can apply pressure to technology companies, business, and advertisers that wittingly or unwittingly host, support, or incentivize creators of false and misleading content, as Kamal been trying to say. Number four, and the fourth and the last here, civil society can work with the governments, media, and each other to improve conditions and mistrust, and this has been the trust point has been mentioned before, and polarization that create fertile breeding ground for the spread of disinformation. Try to combat this fertile environment. So to say that the role of civil society is actually to monitor and to counter and expose disinformation. Now, the first line of defense against digital, I'm stressing the digital and computational, actually, disinformational, is to manipulate, is to refute efforts to manipulate information. This involves proactive measures to raise awareness, which has been mentioned even before, of tactics and techniques used to place and propagate disinformation, as well as reactive measures to analyze, verify, if necessary, debunk specific narrations. Well, as countless studies have shown, if a false narrative enters in the public bloodstream, and this is I liked a lot because I quoted this, false narrative enters the public bloodstream, it is nearly impossible to reverse the damaging effects. Therefore, we need groups out front who can identify structural weakness in the online information ecosystem between traditional and computational propaganda. The former involves, the traditional involves the manipulation of information and false narrative. The latter, which is very important, involves the manipulation of algorithm that can spread narratives at an unprecedented scale and speed. The response, therefore, is not just about objective truth, but also about identifying cyber vulnerabilities in the information space. Now, building resilience through education, and this is, again, I need to stress it. I know that Salman, you did stress education, but it seems that it is an important point in here. It is thus essential that civil work, society work, to raise awareness of the threat with the public and to advance programs that can educate citizens so that they have the tools to protect themselves. This means that groups engaged in disinformation research must break out of the bubble of, and this is really important, of capital cities and engage with the publics at the local level. especially in disaffected communities that are often targeted by evil influences operation. Media literacy is also another solution, but since Kamal did speak about media here, thus it is clear that it is a clear need for a local civil society groups to train educators and students about how to detect information operation online and how to be responsible and critical consumers of news. In addition to the media literacy, another point really I want to, because media literacy does not exist in vacuum. It must be coupled with civic education to improve protection. But there is another thing here. It's important actually about the those who are used to traditional media and those who are used the older generation, actually they do have critical thinking, but they are not aware of the techniques here, of the modern techniques of blogs and bloggers and social media. And that's why you need this kind of mixture here of education that I mean, you can miss a whole population here because they're not aware of that. But it is important here with the civic education, really, that it can also teach the trainers or the trainees, sorry, and the students as well, so that in order to have a civic participation. Thank you very much.